Hello guys, welcome to another session of AI for Software Testers by QA Tech Bro. And in today's session, we'll be looking at 12 technical skills that can keep tester indispensable in an AI fast world. AI is changing and how we build test software is changing real fast, but it doesn't mean testers will become obsolete. No, in fact, those who grow with it will become even more valuable in the tech space. And whether you are just starting out or already deep in QA, here I'm going to share with us 12 essential skills that will help you thrive in an AI fast world. Now, the first on my list is Python for testers. Why does this matter? Most AI tools and libraries are written in Python. Even basic skills like writing loops, checking data can help you understand, test, or even use AI, use it on your AI workflows. Now, for starters, here are a few ways we can get started. One is the Python, crash course. These are courses we can get online for beginners, and we also have PyTest for writing automated tests, and as well as Cargo's intro to Python. You can start with any of these three to get started. The next on our list is prompt engineering. Now, with prompt engineering, tools like ChatGPT or Copilot respond to prompts. If you know how to talk to them clearly, ask the right questions, they can help you write test cases, even as far as generating test data for you or debug codes. And another thing we need to take note of is when your prompt is poor, it usually leads to confusing results. So it's always good to ask the right question and ask the correct prompts relating to what you're trying to search or execute. Now, for starters, there are tools that we can get started with. One is the OpenAI Playground. You can also check Learn Prompting Handbook, and there's LangChain Quick Starts. These are quick starters for us that we can look out for. Now, moving on, the next on our list is data literacy and why it matters. AI relies on good data. So if you can understand basic charts, spot bad data, or test a data pipeline, you are not just testing features, you are testing the intelligence behind them. So we have starter packs here where we can get started with tester. One is there's a course on Coursera, Data Science Maths. We also have Pandas profiling to explore data fast, and thirdly, evidently AI dashboard. All right, so the next on our list is smart test selection with AI. All right, so why this also matters, running every test, I would say, is wasteful because you spend more time trying to run the entire suite. Now, you can learn how to use AI to decide which test to run based on what code change and again from past failures. So this helps save time in CI/CD pipeline. And there are ways we can also get started using GitHub, text selection recipes. We also have Azure DevOps, that's test impact analysis. So these are ways we can get started. Now moving on, the fifth is self-healing test framework. And why does this matter? With self-healing test framework, I would say if you are tired of test breaking because the page layout change or a locator change, there are AI powered tools like Applitools or Marble. They can fix broken locators automatically. So you don't need to do all these things manually. It can automatically detect broken locator and fix them automatically for you. So know how they work to keep your test stable. Ways we can get started is using the Applitool tools, and there's also testing dogs and boot trainer that we can get started with. All right, moving on to the sixth on my list is the visual and accessibility testing. Why this matters: AI can now compare screen designs pixel by pixel, as well as compare screenshots, even spots poor color contrast. And this means fewer visual bugs and more inclusive apps. So there are tools we can also get started with, like the Parsi or Playwright with Pixel Match. These are tools that we can get started with. All right, so we also have QHacks, dev tool for accessibility checks. All these you can Google online to get started. All right, so the next on our list is NLP for logs and requirement mining. Okay, so why this matters: AI can help you make sense of messy error. Yeah, imagine you have a bunch logs of errors, over 5,000 lines, and you need to start going through each line. AI can help make sense of this messy error logs, or even compare written requirement to what product actually does. So all this saves you hours of time trying to debug, trying to find an issue, trying to go through a long list of logs, or trying to analyze large documents of requirements. And there are tools you can start with. We have Sparsy for NLP basics. You can start with this. We also have Llama Index, which is documents for Q&A. All right, so the next on my list is API automation and contract testing. All right, so why it matters: most AI tools, talk through APIs. They talk through APIs. For example, ChatGPT talk through API. So knowing how to test REST APIs or GraphQL helps you verify how system interact. So before users find those bugs, you can use tools like Postman and Newman and plug it with your AI tools, to carry out tests. There's also a tool called Parts for contract testing, and we also have Faker.js or mock service worker. All these tools can help us, execute, better AI testing. All right, so moving on. The ninth on my list is container and cloud basics. Docker, K8s, so this is mostly for software development in test or DevOps engineer. And why this matter is, AI apps often run in cloud, which is true, and not just your laptop. Most AI apps runs, on cloud. So learning how to spin up tools like Docker containers to carry out your test, or test inside a Kubernetes, makes you cloud ready. You get. So there are tools also we can get started with, like the Docker Labs, Minikube or Kind for local cluster. We also have GitHub Action. These are tools that we can get started with. All right, so the next on my list, number 10, is observability and anomaly detection. All right, so why does this matter? AI can help you detect weird behavior before it crashes production. So if you know how to read dashboard or configure alerts, you become the early warning system. So basically it's just being able to be observant, being able to catch anomaly early enough, using tools that can help us catch this. Example here is Prometheus plus Grafana. You can also use PyOD, that's Python library for outliers. So these are tools that we can get started with. All right, so moving to the 11th, this is security and ethical AI testing. And why does this matters? So AI has new risks like prompt injection or bias. Sometimes the output can be biased based on data that it's relying on. So knowing how to test for this makes you the line of defense against risky AI. Like I rightly said, AI has its own risks. It has its own pros and cons as well. So knowing how to test for things like prompt injection makes you the line of defense against risky AI. And we have tools that we can get started with, the ones which is top 10 for LMS. We also have the IBM AI Fairness 362 kits. So these are tools that we can get started with. So finally on my list, the 12th one we are looking is domain-driven exploratory skills. So basically, It's we are saying creativity and domain focused testing. And why does this matter? AI can't think like your users, you know, or understand specific industry. It feeds on existing data. But you as a person, you can combine domain knowledge with exploratory testing to uncover bugs that no AI would think of. So there's a limit to which AI can think, and as human, you can think beyond, above and beyond. You can think outside of the box. For example, if you prompt AI for scenarios, AI can give you enough scenarios, yes, which is good, but as human, we can still go beyond that. We can still think outside of the box. So what we're saying here is that let's be domain driven. Don't just rely on AI for everything. The domain knowledge is very important. So ways you can start: you can read up on books like Exploit by Elizabeth Hendrickson, and there's also session-based test charters that we can get started with. All right. So in conclusion, I would say AI isn't replacing tester. It's not. But the tester who thrives will be those who treat AI as a power tool. The tester that matters in this era are those who treat AI as a power tool, not a threat. So combining code, data, and human curiosity to deliver faster, deeper insight into product quality. So all we're just saying is, let's get started with AI. The tester who learn these tools won't just survive, they will lead. They will be the go-to. They will be the sought after. All right. So that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and follow my channel.